Hey there, this is Heather with TwoBlooms.com, here to show you how to edit more like a professional in Lightroom Classic. I want to share with you a few tips to keep in mind when you're editing your photos so you don't overdo it and so it doesn't look unnatural or a bit over the top. So to get started, I'm going to pick a preset from my Life in Color collection. Now you don't have to use presets. You can use the basic sliders, tone curve, all of this. But I like to use presets because they save me tremendous amount of time and they help keep my photos looking consistent. So I'm going to pick the Dazzlin preset. I use this a lot in my work because it helps create a consistent look for my work. So I applied the preset and right off the bat I noticed that the eyes got a little bit dark and we're losing a little bit of the light in the eyes. So just to keep the ball moving, I'm going to come down here and I could do sharpening or just add a sharpen preset, and that's going to apply the sharpening for me. I'm not going to use a vignette. I normally do use a vignette for my photos, but for a colorful background like this and it's such a bright background, I don't want to use a vignette just because it makes it look a little dingy. So that's another thing to keep in mind, to always be mindful of your backgrounds and everything that goes together, flows together. Okay, so it's because his eyes got a little bit darkened. Whoops. I am wanting to lighten those up a little bit, so I'm going to come over here to my shadows and just up the shadows a little bit. And as you do that, you can see that the shadows are being lifted. Now I don't want to do too much of that because then it starts to look a little crazy, but I think that looks pretty good. So you can see before and after, just adding a little bit of the shadow lifting really helps. Okay, let's back up a little bit. All right, so just to polish this up, I'm going to do a little bit of brush work here in the brush panel. So I'm going to click on new brush, and what I want to do here is I'm going to whiten up his teeth just a little bit. Sometimes kids got gunk in their teeth, or the yellow color cast from the area can make teeth look a little bit more dingy. So I'm going to grab my toothbrush and where did it go? Let's try that again. Here we go. Grab my toothbrush and just go over his teeth. Now I do have a video on how to edit teeth in Lightroom and I will link it below for you to watch next. And that looks like a little bit too much, so I have gone ahead and clicked on this little arrow and I'm going to just turn the amount down just a little bit. Now what I've noticed when I've been whitening his teeth is that there's a little mark, it looks maybe like a little crumb or something on his tooth. So I'm going to grab the spot removal, and it's really small. So I'm going to just grab that tiny little spot and make sure that it's on heel. I don't want to clone it per se. And basically that just blends in a lot nicer. Okay, so we got rid of that spot, we whitened up his teeth a little bit and lightened his eyes. So a few things to keep in mind when you're editing and you want to edit more like a professional is to not overdo it. So don't be increasing your exposure too much. Don't be adding too much contrast or too much color. You can come down here and add saturation, but you don't want to add too much because then your photos are looking very immature. And it's easy to get wrapped up in photo editing when you're learning a new skill and it's really exciting and you want to test out all these skills, but sometimes just a light hand is needed. So be really mindful with that. If you want to increase the color of your image and not be too over the top with it, I like to turn to vibrance. This really just enhances the colors of the midtones. Instead of saturation where you're saturating all of the colors, the vibrance just helps bring out more of the colors in the midtones, and that can get a little touchy too. So I'm going to just move those sliders down a little bit. And just to show you, before we added the contrast, and the vibrance. It just adds a little touch of color. So another thing to keep in mind too is the way that you crop your images. I am going to add a little bit of cropping here just because this is kind of distracting. So I want to bring it more so this isn't like getting cut off. And that way he's right in the rule of thirds here. So perfect alignment. And basically that's how you edit like a professional. Don't go too over the top with your edits. Try to balance out shadows, highlights, and color, and just have fun with it. If you found this tutorial helpful, make sure you subscribe to my channel, give the video a big thumbs up, and I will link up some really fun things for you in the comments below. There is a free 3-part Lightroom training that I'm offering right now. If you want to learn how to edit in Lightroom better and faster and more efficient, make sure you check that out. And I will see you next time. Bye.